Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanz. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today's going to be a very, very tough show for me. Very, very tough show. But you know, sometimes when you're wrong about things, I think you got to be man enough to admit when you get things wrong from time to time. As you guys know, Kobe Bryant is my favorite player to ever play basketball. I've watched everybody play. I didn't really get to see Jordan play all that much, but I did watch a lot of game footage because I wasn't old enough. But I did watch a lot of game footage of him. But in terms of people that I saw play through their primes and all of that, to me, I was convinced, and I think so many people were convinced, that Kobe was the best guy we had going to the league. And a lot of NBA players said the same thing. And in the midst of Kobe's prime and his run, LeBron came into the NBA, and he came in with a lot of hype. They were calling himself the chosen one and all of that. He's going to be the next Michael Jordan and all of that. And when he came into the NBA, LeBron was a great player, especially as a rookie. LeBron hit the ground running the minute he came into the NBA. I think his first game in Sacramento, he scored like 25 points. I forgot the rest of his stat line. And everybody knew, okay, this young man is here. And from that year on, it's just been him having great seasons year after year. Sometimes he's had various bad moments in the playoffs, but overall, he's been very, very consistent in terms of his production throughout the course of his career. And as time went on, I started to realize that, look, even though this guy is not my favorite player, even though I'm not a fan of his antics at all, he became one of my top five players of all time. In terms of, he was in the top five in terms of the best players that ever played. I think at the time I had him ranked number 4 behind MJ, Kareem, and Kobe. So LeBron was in my top 5. And then some years ago, he did some stuff that kind of annoyed me, and I removed him out of my top 5 because he was just annoying me. But then going into this season, there was this big conversation that surrounding LeBron James and, you know, him possibly playing with his son. And at the time, it all seemed like a pipe dream because they were talking about this when Bronny was like in high school and in college. But as it started to become more realistic, I was like, okay, well, this could be a thing or whatever. And then there was the preseason game that they played where they were both in the game, right? And it was plastered all over the internet and all of that. And I remember watching that, and I said to myself, okay, this is pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. But then we had yesterday, which was NBA opening night. And going into opening night, apart from the Celtics receiving their championship rings, the biggest story was LeBron making history playing with his son, Bronny James. The first time an NBA player played with his son in the NBA, made history. They even had Ken Griffey Jr. there and his father. They were the first to do it in sports and baseball. So we knew that this was an historic moment. So I tuned in to watch the game. The game started like at 3 a.m. my time, and I wasn't going to watch the whole game. But based on the reports that I saw, they were saying that it was going to occur before the first half. So I was glued to my computer watching the game. And then I think it was in the second quarter, and I was just sitting there. I think like a lot of people watching, like, well, when is Bronny going to come into the game? When is Bronny going to come into the game? And then they panned to the bench, and LeBron was sitting next to Bronny. And they stood up and started walking towards what is it? Where they check in? I forgot the desk or whatever. I forgot what they call it. It skipped my mind. The scores table. And as I'm looking at the two of them, I was like, wow, this is a moment. This is a cool moment. And as a father, I felt that I even posted on the channel 12 hours ago. I said, man, it was really nice to see LeBron and his son check into the game. As a father, I felt that moment. LOL. And at the end of the game, I came to a realization that with this, LeBron just might have passed my favorite player, Kobe. He just might have. But before I get into the reasons why I say that, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. With only 4 months left until the end of the year, I look forward to creating special moments with family and friends by attending various theaters, shows, plays, and sporting events. And when it comes time for me to look for tickets, I absolutely love to use Game Time. Game Time is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. Game Time saves me money, time, and peace of mind, so I don't have to sort through thousands of tickets looking for the best prices or worry about whether or not if they're authentic or whether I'm going to receive them on time. Game Time Picks, one of my favorite Game Time tools, analyzes thousands of tickets for all of your favorite events near your location and finds you the best possible deal so you don't have to. For example, I'm looking forward to this upcoming concert at Madison Square Garden of one of my favorite composers, Hans Zimmer. Here, I can select the all-in price to see the total ticket price up front, no hidden fees. And now I can sort through the best possible deals I can find. I can choose the cheapest deals, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. And if you're like me and always make plans at the last minute, you can grab tickets up to 90 minutes after the event has started. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. After I saw that moment, I realized that LeBron has passed Kobe. He has passed Kobe as the number one leader in all-time missed shots. Wait, hold up. Y'all thought I was about to say that LeBron James has passed Kobe Bryant as the greatest. You must be out your mind. Y'all got to be out your mind. I know some of y'all are like, I'm about to unsubscribe from this MF right now. Hell no, I ain't about to say that. People been messaging me all over the internet talking about, make sure you talk about LeBron passing Kobe for the most missed shot. Make sure you talk. You know the media ain't going to talk about it. So here I am talking about it. Apart from the fact that LeBron made history playing with his son, which was a cool moment yesterday. I'm not going to front. It was a cool moment. But he also made some history by now being the number one all-time leader in missed shots. I want to read from a quick article here from CBS Sports. It says LeBron James breaks Kobe Bryant's record for the most missed shots in NBA history. James has missed 14,482 shots and counting in his historic NBA career. LeBron James has plenty of very positive NBA records. Nobody has scored more points or played more minutes of professional basketball, and nobody else has shared on an NBA court with his son. He is quite possibly the greatest player in the history of basketball, but that doesn't mean he's perfect. And on Tuesday, James set one record he'd likely rather forget. Coming into his 22nd season, James has missed a total of 14,476 field goals in his illustrious NBA career. That left him just 5 shy of Kobe Bryant's all-time record of 14,481 missed field goal attempts. Sure enough, during the season opener between the Los Angeles Lakers and Minnesota Timberwolves, James missed his 6th shot in the third quarter and claimed the record for most missed shots in league history with 14,482 and counting. Okay, so you heard what that article had to say there. Now, I want to get into the real show right now and where we're going to really have the fun. Let's get into it now. You know, after this stat came out, I said to myself, I need to investigate what went on here, because LeBron eclipsing Kobe in terms of missed shots 1 year later, or 1 year earlier, however you want to look at it, made me begin to think, well, does that mean that LeBron is a better scorer than Kobe? And some of his fans were like, well, you got the most all-time points, so obviously the best scorer. So I had to do some digging, and I investigated extensively. And the conclusion that I came to, I believe is going to surprise a lot of you. So let's get through some of the data that I was able to unearth here. So for Kobe's NBA career, he attempted 19.5 field goal attempts per game. For LeBron's NBA career, he attempted 19.6. So virtually the same. LeBron attempted slightly more shots. Kobe, for his career, shot 44.7% from the field versus LeBron, who shot 50.6% from the field. So looking at those numbers, those field goal percentages, one could easily draw the conclusion that, okay, LeBron is clearly the more efficient player because he's shooting 6% higher from the field. So one would assume that, but that wouldn't necessarily be the case. So I started to do a little bit more digging. And what I discovered was, in LeBron passing Kobe for having the most missed shots, that actually came down not to LeBron being way more efficient than Kobe. It came down to really their playing styles. Okay, let me give you guys some data here. According to ESPN, from 1996 to the year 2016, which is a 20-year window, okay, Allen Iverson in that time frame who played in the NBA, made 17,767 unassisted mid-range jumpers. And number 4, LeBron made 1,783 unassisted mid-range jumpers. Dirk made 1,886 unassisted mid-range jumpers, but Kobe made 2,775 unassisted mid-range jumpers, which means that in that time frame, Kobe made virtually 1,000 more mid-range jumpers unassisted, right? So what that told me was LeBron had a different style than Kobe because they averaged virtually the same amount of field goal attempts. So it means that LeBron was shooting in a different way or attacking differently. And what I discovered was LeBron was actually favoring attacking the basket, but I wanted to prove this with the data. According to basketballreference.com, okay, let's look at the percentages. Kobe, for his career, shot 42.2% outside of 3 feet to the three-point line. LeBron, for his career, is shooting 38.3% from outside, from that same distance. Okay, so that's a pretty big difference in terms of percentage. And if you look at the percentage of the shots that they were taking from various distances, you will begin to understand why LeBron shot a higher field goal percentage, and it really had nothing to do with him being better. LeBron took 35% of his shots came from between 0 to 3 feet. 13% of his offense came from between 3 to 10 feet. Another 13 came from 10 to 16 feet. 18% came from between 16 to the three-point line, and 23% of his shots came from beyond the arc, beyond the three-point line. Kobe, on the other hand, took less shots closer to the rim. 21.9% of his shots came from 0 to 3 feet. 12% came from 3 to 10 feet. 17.2% came from 10 to 16 feet. And 27.1% came from 16 to the three-point line, and he attempted 21% of his shots beyond the three-point line. So based on that data, it is clear to me that Kobe favored shooting mid-range jumpers. And if you factor in the fact that he made 1,000 more unassisted mid-range jumpers, you can then understand just how much better he was at shooting from the mid-range than LeBron was. But if you talk to the typical LeBron fan, they'll just give you the naked numbers and say, oh, well, LeBron is just a better shooter. Look at their field goal percentages, without really going into the real numbers and really understanding what was really going on there. So for me, it is clear that Kobe was clearly the more superior mid-range shooter, but LeBron could also shoot, but he played a different style. And the question then becomes, if Kobe shot a higher percentage from the mid-range and you reverse the numbers and say LeBron made 1,000 more mid-range jumpers at his percentage, what would his overall field goal percentage be playing the same style as Kobe? And anybody that knows anything about basketball will tell you for free, that it's a lot easier to score closer to the rim than it is away further from the rim. But it doesn't stop there. Another thing I've heard some people say is, well, LeBron is a much better scorer than Kobe because look at their career averages. Kobe averaged like 25.1 or 2 points per game, whereas LeBron is averaging 27.1, so therefore he's a better scorer than Kobe. And I'm like, but that's not the full picture. There's a reason that number exists, and it has nothing to do with LeBron being being better than Kobe per game by 2 points. Has nothing to do with that. Kobe averaged from the year 2000 to 2010, his average for that decade was 28.4 points per game. LeBron's average from 2005 to 2015 was 28.1. So Kobe was actually averaging more points than LeBron over any decade that they both played in the NBA. The only difference was, if you go look at Kobe's stats, career stats, the last 3 seasons of his NBA career, he was injured badly. Torn shoulder, rotator cuff, I believe, and an Achilles tendon tear. And he was a much, much older player. So that's why his performance and his field goal percentages just bottomed out. But before that, at the age of 34, they were calling him Vino. And Kobe was actually getting more efficient and he was getting older. He was actually getting more efficient as he was getting older. And he was a mid-range guy, and I think that year he shot something like, 48%? Let me see if I can pull up the stat here. I don't know if I have the stat open, but I think that was the 2012, 2013 season. And that season, Kobe Bryant scored, I think, what's the year? He played 8 games, he scored 27.3. He shot 46.3% that season. And that was the best he had shot since 2009, 2010. He was shooting it. That was at when he was 34 years old, going on 35 years old. So if you look at their averages, Kobe's had the higher average. So the difference was Kobe got injured his last 3 years, and the first 2 seasons in the NBA, he didn't start. And the moment Kobe started, I think he might have been, 19 years old at that point when he started, or 17 or 19, about 19 years old. He pretty much put up the same numbers that LeBron put up when he came into the NBA as a rookie. Pretty much. And LeBron was attempting more shots because while Kobe came into the NBA, I think that year as a rookie, that year when he averaged 19, he was attempting 15.6 shots a game. 15.6. And he was playing with the guy that was attempting 18 shots a game. LeBron, on the other hand, when he came into the NBA, he was attempting damn near 20 shots a game. He attempted, 19 field goal attempts per game, damn near, as a rookie. And there was no other player that he had to pass the ball to. So to me, look, even though LeBron has eclipsed Kobe for the most missed shots, I don't really pay too much attention to it. No, LeBron hasn't passed Kobe Bryant in my book, but it was still very nice to troll you guys, and I had a lot of fun with it. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.